beautiful collectors and Star Wars fans. Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming to with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the folks at NSabers, we're going to be taking a look at something very special. Occasionally, I reviewed some official Star Wars lightsabers. Whether it be some of the exclusive legacy ones like this Darth Vader one, or the custom ones that you can build at Savi's workshop in Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland, the lightsaber is an iconic piece of Americana. Pretty much everybody on this planet knows what a lightsaber is. And while the official ones have always been extremely well done, a lot of kind of Star Wars aficionados have never really looked at them as some of the best lightsabers on the market. A lot of them just kind of lack a certain something, whether it be the blades, the hilts. Something's always a little bit off, leaving an opening in the market for some high-end lightsabers to be created. And that's where the company like NSabers comes into play. Now, usually when you use the word high-end, it also usually includes high price. And these are definitely a little bit more than, say, something like Darth Vader's. But you do get a lot more in this that really does completely separate it from anything that would be classified as official. And about 3 weeks ago, NSabers contacted me and asked me if I would like to do a review of one of their lightsabers. And I was definitely intrigued. So taking a look at kind of what was coming out in terms of Star Wars, I thought the one that would best suit things would be their Ahsoka SE lightsaber, which is inspired by the character Ahsoka Tano. And with her Disney Plus series coming out, I just thought it would fit pretty well. And in about 9 days from Hong Kong, it showed up at my door, which is absolutely incredible. But nothing really kind of prepared me with just how cool this lightsaber really is. Now, starting off first, you do get an instruction sheet. One thing that I will say about the instructions, and I'm going to go through a lot of the stuff on here so that you guys can know what to do, but the instructions are kind of confusing. I spent a good day playing with this so I could get a full grasp of how to change all the different settings or fonts as they're called. But this really does go through a lot of it. It's just worded weirdly and a little bit confusing. So you do have that. You also do get these white gloves, which I've never had white gloves to do reviews or anything, but here, let's oh, these definitely are smaller. Okay, there we go. I can stretch that, and that is tight. But so I can do that, and I guess if you want to, you know, you do get that, which is definitely nice. Setting off the lightsaber, you also do get this absolutely gorgeous, maybe I should use the gloves for this gorgeous acrylic display stand, which it's kind of hard to see, but you can see it's a clear base with these prongs that come up that allow you to rest on it. And then you've got a plaque right here that says NSaber. Now, this just pegs in here, and there is a protective film that comes on this, so you are going to want to remove this. And this NSaber section is a separate piece as well, with a little sticky thing on the bottom that you literally just pull off and then you affix to there, so you know that that's an NSaber, which I absolutely love that. That's one thing that a lot of the official ones don't come with. It doesn't come with the display stand unless you pay a higher price point. For example, I keep bringing out this Darth Vader one. This came with the display stand. It came with the blade. And I want to say this was around $215 for the entire thing. So you are getting a very comparable sort of thing, as this is around $215 as well. But the quality is completely different. Then you also do get some hardware here. Now, the blade, as you can see, is not attached to this right now. That does have to be added on there, and that's one part that the official one does get a little bit better. You take the lightsaber, you take the blade, bringing that in, you have this section right here that literally you just slide in, rotate around, and that locks that in. That's very quick, very convenient, and then you can remove it just as easily. The NSaber one, though, this is the blade, and the blade is basically identical to what you got with the official one in terms of how it kind of looks on the outside. Internally, it's vastly different, but you also don't have that. Let me bring that one back in here. You don't have that little notch section right there. This is the component that kind of connects the circuit in there and really kind of makes everything light up. But what you do, I'm just going to set this back here with this one as well. You come around here, you do have a cap right here that you can put in here that just kind of replicates how it looks when the blade is not activated, I suppose. But when you take this off, this is where things get a little bit more complicated. You have to take this, and you have to put this in, just like that, and then you can see around here are actual screw holes that you have to affix with the screws that are included. You got a little Allen wrench as well, and that is, like I said, not elegant. You do have to do a little bit of work when you want to kind of display it as just the lightsaber, or if you want to have it with the entire activated sort of lightsaber look on there. But I'm going to do that here in a bit. I'm not going to do it on camera, that way it doesn't waste too much time. But coming in to take a closer look at the lightsaber, as I said, this is inspired by Ahsoka Tano's. Now, most of you know that when she was using the lightsaber and such, hers was a curved one. This one is not. You can see it's completely straight, but still has a lot of those same elements, like these little tiger stripes down here, the little diamond sections right up at the middle section on both sides has it. It's very similar, but like I said, inspired by hers. But you can definitely see where that Ahsoka sort of look comes from. You got some nice gold accents here. This is not as heavy, definitely not as heavy as it. This one has a lot of rubber though, so kind of offsets it, but you can see the overall size here is roughly the same length, definitely more narrow, but again, Ahsoka's was a little bit smaller. Literally, Darth Vader's is one of like the thickest, heaviest, clunkiest ones that you could possibly get, but that's what I had available to me. And then for some of the internal bits right here, you have this section here, which you will unscrew this. And the other thing that's really nice is that this has a chargeable or rechargeable battery. No, I don't have it. It's got a charging wire that plugs in right there. The wire's included. I left it over on my table, but it plugs in, and then it has a USB sort of port. Does not come with the actual block to plug it into, but most of us have those nowadays. So you can plug it in and charge it like that, so you don't have to worry about swapping out batteries or anything of that nature. Now, without the blade in there, this will not work. You cannot turn this on and get any sound effects. This one, though, you can actually still turn it on, and on the inside here, it still kind of lights up. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to attach the blade here in a minute, and I'm going to go to my living room area where I'm going to demonstrate this for you. But you got this little button right here. To activate it, you just hold it down.
Power on.
But you can hear the speakers coming through here. Now, again, I'm not going to really activate. You're not going to really see it very much, but let's just kind of, you put this here so you can hear the sound. So you could kind of hear that. That's fairly quiet, honestly. Let me get that. It's not as loud, definitely, as this. Now, I'm just going to hit one of the activation things so you can hear the sound difference. That sounds a whole lot different than what we have here. Now, let me again. Yeah, there's a little bit of a tease right there, but let's. In terms of showing off the blade, I'm going to do that later on. But again, let's listen to the activation for the official one. Again, you can hear the sound. Let's do this one again. Granted, there's a lot of extra there. It's night and day, the difference in terms of the speaker quality on this. Now I'm going to hold it down to turn it off. Now getting Darth Vader's out of the way. Now coming in to take a closer look at it, you can see that you have this light around here. Now this is actually how you're going to kind of change a lot of the settings on there. And it's hard to do because a lot of times your thumb's going to be covering it up. If you kind of push off on the side, you'll see that it cycles through and if you hold it down for an extra amount of time, it turns off. But turning that on,
Power on.
You can see the light. Now, when it's this one blink,
Ignition 1.
it's going to cycle through different options. Like this is the ignition sequence. When you hold it down for 2 times, 1, 2,
Ignition 2.
it'll swap it.
Ignition 3.
So as you can cycle through
Basic 4.
That's a different setting. So
Basic 5.
so when you see it blinking 3 times, or I'm sorry, let's see, 1, 2, 3.
Basic 6.
Yeah, when it does 3 times, it goes to another activation sequence.
Basic 7.
They're all different. If you hold it down for 4 blinks, it goes through some actual character sequences. So the Butcher, I don't know who that is, but let's try another one. Temple Guard, which is cool. That's probably going to be a yellow one. Then if you activate it, you can actually see the lights on the inside there. That's cool. Yeah, and again, I'm spoiling some of the fun parts, but let's go through some of the other actual characters. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Star Killer.
Star Killer. I don't know what that is. I mean, I know what that is.
Ventress.
Asajj Ventress. That's a cool one.
Leia.
Oh, Princess Leia's. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have no idea who that says. If you guys know some of these when I say I don't know, leave me a comment in the comment section letting me know.
Prepare a boarding party.
That sounded like Darth Vader.
Ahsoka.
That sounded like that was Ahsoka, I think. Which is gonna be, I mean, I wonder if that's. Oh yeah. And you can see the light on the inside there. I mean, the activation sequence is really cool. Oh, yellow. That's cool. Love that. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Anakin.
Anakin's.
Ayla Secura.
I have no idea what that just said.
Double Balaba.
Double balaba? Double balaba.
Kenobi.
Oh.
Kenobi.
That is... I just got goosebumps. That was super cool.
Count Dooku.
Oh, I love Dooku's. So that again, that should be... I wonder if that makes it like a reddish color. I mean, it's kind of cycling through all the different colors, so I'm not sure. Let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Dark Sith Red.
Darth Sith Red. I love all those sound bites.
Cal Kestis.
Cal, that's a good one.
Yoda.
Oh, Yoda.
Rey Skywalker.
Rey. Ben? Oh, so I wonder if this is Kylo's. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can even hear, like, the crackling. That is super, super cool.
I am the Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, okay.
Tell me, is this training? My training? No. Always training. The universe is.
And listen to the speaker. Now, you can adjust the volume of it. I like it like this, but going through some of the other sounds.
Master Windu.
Master Windu.
I am told it is the Dark Saber.
The Dark Saber. I love the Dark Saber.
Master Mundi.
I don't know what he said there.
General Kenobi.
Grievous.
Quinlan Boss.
Blah blah blah. I don't know.
Reborn.
Oh, that sounds like Kylo.
The Butcher.
Okay, so those are all the different actual characters that you can have, and like I said, when you go through 1, 2,
Ignition 2.
you can customize the ignition. So if you wanted to have, say, Darth Vader or Kylo Ren's ignition sequence, you can do that. You can also customize the colors and have just about any color that you can think of. Then when you hold it down, it'll activate it. Very simple. And then while it's activated like this, you have different sort of effects that you can do. Like, for example, if you hold it... Now, again, I'm going to show this when I get the full setup going, but this is like a blast deflect. So, and you'll see the blade actually correspond with that. If you hold it down for 2 seconds, it goes through some of the other things, like the clash. So now when you hit it, it's off, but now turning it back on, hold it down, 1 blink, 2 blinks, it says clash on. And you can do that. And you can hear it's got very responsive motion as you move it around. That is amazing, and you can see that it's actually cycling through, because I hit the thing to 1, 2, 3, 4. That turns it off, but it was cycling through the rainbow colors.
Low volume.
Low volume changes it down to a lower volume.
Mute on.
Now it's muted.
High volume.
So there we go. Now, let's get this fully assembled, and I'm going to go over to my living room area, and I'm actually going to show you how cool this is, and I just turned it on again. Because there's a lot of really cool things, like, for example, shaking it down to turn it off, or even going like that to activate it. So let's head on over to the bigger area so I can show you all that cool stuff. Now, here we are, and I'm going to do my best to kind of show you just how good this lightsaber is. I do have my Darth Vader one out here to do a comparison. You can see that roughly the blade length is about the same that you're going to get with this. So maybe 32 inches, something of that nature. But while this one is very good, it's a lot heavier, mostly because there's a lot of rubber that's in the hilt for this. So it does have a very heavy feel. But one thing that's really cool is that there's a lot of gestures that are used in this one. To activate Darth Vader's, you have the switch. You just push it up like so. And you can see it. Very cool. Then it comes back down. This one, you can literally push the button, which is right here, or do that. And you can already see, now granted, this is the blue one, but gestures can make it retract and extend. So again, which is cool, or you could retract it, or you could twist it. The twisting also does the actual activation and everything as well. But one of the biggest things, and I'm going to cycle through these to find Darth Vader's. Dooku's a good one. Let's give that one a look. It's a little bit different, but let's take a look. You can see how good this blade looks. Hopefully the camera's picking it up. There is a huge brightness difference between these two, and you can hear that there is a very good motion to this that you can hear as it's doing it. This one has it as well, but it's very light. Let me get to Darth Vader's. Alright, so you could hear, prepare a boarding party. That, I think, is Darth Vader's. So, again, let's show you the activation here. I'm going to try doing it at the same time. It's hard to do, but I mean, you can then even see the pulsating effect. Now, you can change that if you want to. It makes things a little bit more tricky to kind of keep it on the actual characters, but I like that. I think it's really cool. And then again, the sound that you hear is amazing. And then it does have the clash that, and the thing that I like is it flashes that white in kind of random spots. It's not actually where you're hitting the blade, but it's like you're battling. So you're, and this has the clash as well. But again, come in so you can hear that. Much different in terms of the overall quality. This, again, completely blows away the one that is official. The other thing that's really cool about it, I'm going to keep it on Darth Vader for a second, that if you hit the button, you can do laser blasts. So it's as if he's fighting off like stormtroopers or rebel scum. You can hit this button and so it's like all that, and you can see the flash of light there. The other thing is if you hold it down for one blink, it's a force lightning effect, as if somebody is using the force and you're blocking it. Hitting it again deactivates it. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So many fun gestures that you can do with this. Now, going through some of the other ones, let's get back to Anakin Skywalker's. So you can hear the voice where it says Anakin. Sounds like Obi-Wan. Again, let's activate it. And you can see, you can change the ignition sequence as well as some of the actual effects. So this is just standard blue. You can also change the color if you want to. But again, doing so kind of alters it, and it's a little bit more complicated because you then have to go through and cycle through all the different options to get it back to basically the factory settings. So this is Anakin's. Now, holding it down again for 4 blinks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait, no, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have no idea what that is, but I love this. It like pulsates right there, then psh, and again, all the sounds are slightly different here. Even when you have the blast effect, I love it. So very cool. Now going to the next one. Double baloney. I don't know. And then, like, again, so this is a different effect that you can do. You have different ignition sequences. So this would be an ignition sequence. This is a different feature of it. Once it's on there, have that pulsating strobe light effect. I absolutely love it. And yes, I can do this. I cannot do the Obi Annie, so nobody asked me to do that. All right, let's go to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hit the wrong one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Love it. Absolutely love it. Again, you have the clash effect on there, the blast, and then of course hold it down for a second. So very fun. The gesturing as well is really very cool instead of having to constantly keep flipping the switch. And I think the battery is set to last for about 4 hours on a full charge, which is good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count Dooku is one of my favorites. I've always really loved the character, and there was an elegance to him. And big fan, and I love the fact that this is on here now. Again, so you can sort of see a slightly different ignition sequence as it's going through, which is cool. Another thing that you can do is if you hold the button down and thrust, so I'm holding it down, that's like it's going inside something. So this is now kind of ripped through like a wall, and there's a wall there, and it's kind of going through. Another thing that you can do is kind of activate it. I'm going to try doing this, and let's see, you hold it down, and then you can drag it. Now you can't see me doing it, but the sound effect is still there. So let me see if I can. So again, then you kind of hit something with it, so as if you're dragging it, which is super cool. Now the lights don't change on here. I kind of wish that they did, but I think some of the higher end ones do. This is still an amazing piece, even though it doesn't have that. Oh, come back down. All right, let's go to the next one. You can hear how loud it is too. I have no idea what that one is, but that's just generic. But you can, like I said, change colors. So maybe you don't want it to be like that. Holding it down, 1, 2. Then we'll cycle through the different colors so you can customize it, like I said. So let's go with, not red. Let's go this color. So now you put that, again, activation. It's pretty simple. That's the activation for it, which I really think is cool. Maybe you want to change it. So let's go to one of the different ignition sequences. So again, you hold it down for 2 seconds to get there. 1, 2. That's a different setup. So it's a little bit different. 1, 2, 3. And you can see, you can change it. This is, I'm sure, one that a lot of people are going to enjoy. But again, customizing it to what you want. 1, 2. So now we're going to change it to the second setting for the ignition sequence. So again, now you can see it changes it a little bit. So a lot of customization, and that one, like I said, that one doesn't really seem to have like a specific person, so that's a good one to kind of play around with. But let's go to the next person. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know that laugh. So, of course, it's Emperor Palpatine. And now this one is set up where you can slowly see a slight pulsate on there, which is, again, absolutely amazing. So let's go to the next one.
Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis. Of course, Cal has kind of like this whitish blue one, which is cool, and then you can see a faster pulsing action on there, which again, loving it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yoda.
Oh, Yoda! I like how this grows in intensity and power. Absolutely love it. There's a slight pulse on there as well, and again, very smooth sound. I love it. Super, super cool. Let's go to the next character. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rey Skywalker. Now, I am not a very big fan of Rey Skywalker. Just putting it out there, but here we go. Now, this one you can see there's a bluishness to it, but also a little bit more white. But you also see these different pulses going through that. Again, a different setting that you can put in there. I just thought it was kind of cool to add that. I dig it. So, again, personal preference. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Ben. So, Ben Solo. And again, now you can see, oh, my watch is listening to me. You can see a slightly different sort of effect on here. I just thought that was kind of cool to see that kind of pulsating around. Bring that back in. And then 1, 2, 3, 4.
I am the Inquisitor.
Inquisitor. I like this one. It's kind of pinkish, a lighter red. Again, there's a lot of different colors that you can go through that you can see that when I was showing that off, you can kind of, again, customize it.
Tell me, is this training? My training? No. Always training. The universe is.
Again, so now this one is a slightly bluish one with a soft kind of pulse going through there. Bring that in. Master Windu. Who is not a fan of Mace Windu? And you have the beautiful purple lightsaber. That again. And of course, and again, if you want to, hold it down for a second. And you can have it like using the lightsaber to absorb the actual force effect. Super, super cool. Let's go to the next one.
I am told it is the dark saber.
Now the dark saber is a lot of people's favorite right now. It was something that was obviously in The Mandalorian. A lot of people saw it. I absolutely love it. I think it is one of the most unique, cool looking lightsabers, even though it's kind of like a sword of sorts. But again, the activation is, I love it. And then you have this pulsating. Now, they do have a dark saber that you can buy. And again, I'm going to put a code on the screen here. It's going to be Optibotimus. Very simple. There's a link in the description. You can save yourself 10% off of any of these lightsabers, which are very reasonably priced, and you can save a little bit of extra money for it. The dark saber, I really want. I think that is really cool and looks a lot better than the official one. But one thing I also really like is you can hear. There's a metal tinge to that sound, which is super, super cool. I really love that subtle little extra detail to it. So let's go on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Master Windu.
Again, have no idea what they just said. But again, here's a yellow blade, and you can see the white pulsating randomly throughout it, just giving it, again, a slightly unique look, which I keep saying that it's cool, and I'm sure you guys are getting sick of it, but I can't think of something else to say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, General Kenobi, which that voice is, of course, our good friend General Grievous. So, but he's announcing Ben Kenobi, or Obi-Wan Kenobi. So you have a blue blade that's going to come through, and has that staggered kind of activation, which is, I'm not exactly sure why that little white one does that. I'm not sure what that actually is, but whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blah, blah, blah. That's slightly bluish as well. Let's go on to the next. Now this is Kylo Ren. Again, a character I'm not a very big fan of, but I do really like the way that his lightsaber looks. So you can see the pulsating effect. You can see the ripple kind of showing a fiery element to it, which, again, very, very cool how that is. And I love the sound with that. Super, super cool. And then again, I'm just playing with it now. You can activate it just like that, which I think is amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Butcher. I love that. So cool. Super, super cool. Now, as you see, I keep kind of pulling back and pushing to activate. You can also just twist it. The fact that you can do those gestures really shows the sensitivity into the actual lightsaber itself, which is very impressive. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Temple Guard.
Temple Guard, that's a fun one. You can see you now have a kind of ripple again. And again, if you don't like the ripple, you can change that. Whatever you want it to do, you totally can within the realm of what we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Star Killer.
Star Killer, I don't know what this is, but it's like, this is just random. So again, I just have the rainbow thing on there just because it is what it is.
Ventress.
Asajj Ventress, another very cool character. Again, you got the red, and then I love how you have this white element. If you don't like it, change it. It's your lightsaber. You can do whatever you want.
Leia.
Princess Leia. This one I like. So again, a slightly bluish tinge to it with the speckling of the white effects as they're going through. I just think that, again, is really neat.
Tuna cord.
A tuna cord. I don't know what that is. But again, the little yellow, boom, beautifully activated.
Boarding party.
Again, Darth Vader. Super cool. Now, I might actually change this from the pulsating on there to just the solid red. Personal preference, but as you can see, this is the way that it is. So to kind of illustrate how to change it, now we're not going to change the ignition sequence, but we are going to change the effect. So again, holding the button down for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. That's the different set. So now it's not doing it. Customization, my friends. Customization. And it just, you can see, while I have it on Darth Vader, the amazing difference between these two. So much brighter, such a more smooth activation. When you see this, it's like it staggers as it goes down. And I'm trying to do it. I'm not going to be able to do it at the same time, but this is a more fluid ignition and so much brighter. I am completely blown away by how incredibly detailed this is. Now I think the next one is Anakin's. Oh no, I think that's Ahsoka's. So again, love the white blade on there. If you wanted to change it, because Ahsoka had a white blade, she also had the blue and the green one. You can change that however you want. This is the Ahsoka blade. Do whatever you want to do for it. And then Anakin. Super amazing. Super amazing. Honestly, I cannot tell you how impressed I am with this. This really has completely blown me away. And then to turn it off, you just hold the button down for 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait. You just hold it down for 4 seconds, I think.
Power off.
And it powers off. This is realistically one of the best lightsabers that I've ever seen. Using the Neopixel actual design for it, you don't necessarily have to get the Ahsoka one. I just thought that that would be a great one to have with the new series coming out. If you wanted to get one that looks similar to Darth Vader's, you can. And you can have all that same functionality that I've been displaying here in that one. Or Anakin's. Or the Darksaber. Pretty much every lightsaber that you can think of is available at NSabers.com. And again, using the coupon code Optibotimus, when you check out, you will save yourself 7%. Which, yeah, that's a weird random number, but lucky 7, eh? So again, I want to send a huge shout out to the folks over at NSabers for allowing me to take a look at this for you guys. It is absolutely worth every single penny that you pay. And I cannot recommend this enough to you if you are a big Star Wars fan. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Once again, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. And until next time, this is Optibotimus saying, may the Force be with you.